Hi everyone, welcome back to another edition of my videos, and today I present to you a really gorgeous study that I found as part of a puzzle book that I found online. I'll share the link in the description below. It was made as a reference in this particular puzzle book as a winner from 1964. It was in fact a first prize winner by the composer El Olmutsky. I'll be honest with you, I had a look online to see if this particular composer had published anything else. It doesn't appear that he had, but if anyone knows any information about this particular composer or knows any other puzzles, I would really appreciate it. So as I say, this one came from 1964. It was part of a socialist magazine. I would appear it came from a Ukrainian one from the looks of it, but I'm not overly sure on the origin. So again, if you guys know, let me know in the comments below, and that would be, really, as I say, really appreciative. So with these sort of studies, it's not so much finding checkmates in a certain amount of moves. If you must know, actually, it's checkmate in 27. So if you really, really want to challenge yourself, see if you can find the checkmate in 27. But the whole purpose of these studies is to try and find a way that you can get a winning position. So either a winning endgame that's theoretically won, or a position where you're delivering some form of checkmate very quickly. The challenge for white in this particular study is quite straightforward. He's got these two pawns that he's got to stop. They're both going to be promoting on the next move. Now, if one of them promotes and we haven't got an effective way to deal with one of these pawns, then unfortunately it's going to be a theoretical draw. I'll just show you what I mean by that. If, let's say, the rook came to b3, which looks like a logical move, we're going after one of the pawns, then the d pawn promotes to a queen, and after the rook captures, unfortunately in this position this is a theoretical draw. Black has got too many opportunities to try and check the king, just be a total nuisance to white, and white will have no way to find a way to checkmate the black king with just two rooks against a queen. So that's the problem for white. So how does he find a way to win this position and stop any of these pawns promoting? Well, the solution to this is really, really cool. He actually has to find a way to see if he can dominate one of these pawns promoting to a queen and find a way to checkmate the black king. So I'll let you try and solve this puzzle. Don't spend too long on it. It is a really, really hard one. I wouldn't expect most players to get this, even master level players to get this particular one, as it is very, very hard. But give it a go. Give yourself about 10 minutes if you do want to properly study it. If you're just here for the amusement, just want to know the solution, let me just show you the next sort of 10 seconds or so if you want to pause the video, and we'll get right into it. Okay, as I say, it's a really gorgeous solution to this one. So the first move, I think, kind of has to be a forcing move. We have to really come up with a check here, as well. These pawns are going to be promoting, so we've got to find something good to do here. So rook to a3 is the first move to play here. So the start of the solution. So really, the black king wants to try and stay maybe as close as he can to these pawns. So I think the best move here, the move that kind of makes sense, is the move king to b4, after which the rook can come to b3, checking again. And just to show you one of the solutions that could occur, if, let's say, the king comes to c4, this is probably the best move, then there's a nice continuation after this. But firstly, let's have a look. If he just kind of goes back and forth, let's just say he's just going to keep going back and forth. So he goes to king to a4. There's a very, very nice solution here, and it starts with the move rook b to g3. It seems very strange, as it looks as though we're just allowing black to promote one of these pawns. But this is the beauty of this puzzle. After, let's say, the queen comes to d1, Black has to basically keep his rooks on dark squares here. Obviously, because this queen is promoted on a light diagonal, it should be able to capture one of these rooks if it goes onto any of these light squares. So basically, the black rooks have to stay in the dark squares. And this rook will come to h4 with check, king moves, we throw another check in, king moves again, we've got this staircase mate. And even if, if we go all the way down, even if the black king goes to c8 and we block with the queen on d8, we just take this queen off, king captures, and the rook swings over to b7, where it's going to be capturing this pawn if it does promote. Now, for any beginners, a rook and king is a theoretical win in an endgame. If you don't know how to do that, have a look online. There's some great videos on how to checkmate with a rook and a king. Going back, if I just go back a couple moves earlier, if let's say the queen also blocks on d6 instead of d8, again, it's a similar looking solution. We take and then we threaten the pawn from stopping it from promoting. And instead of the queen, this pawn promoting, just to sort of show you as well, if this pawn promotes on b1, similar thing happens again. This queen's on light squares, on these light diagonals. So we just deliver mate on the dark diagonals like so. So we just slowly slink up the board like so. And we'll be able to deliver mates very quickly like this. So really, really gorgeous stuff. So that's one of the first solutions. But it's not the most critical choice from black. I think black is probably best here to play his king to c4, and I'll show you why in a minute. Because after, let's say, the king, this rook comes to c3 throwing the next check, the king can go to d4. If the rook comes to d3, the king comes to c4, and there's a bit of a problem here for white. It looks as though he's stopping both pawns. But if he's careless enough to go after one of these pawns, he's actually just led himself to a draw, as now this unprotects this rook on d3. And, well, we're going to just have to sacrifice this rook for a pawn. So we don't really want to do that, as that leads now to a draw. So instead of this, white has to be really, really crafty here. So firstly, he throws in this check on with the b rook. And if the king goes to b4, a very, very nice move. Bear in mind, he's got to stick on the dark squares. It's really important he sticks on the dark squares. So he moves his rook to c7. And we have a very similar thing to what we just saw earlier. These rooks will go onto the dark squares and deliver checkmates via the sort of staircase method, or the lawnmower method, or the laser method, whatever you want to call it. I call it, when I'm showing the kids at the school that I teach, I call them laser beams. I think that's kind of cool. But the lawnmower method is the other way I show them, just to try and teach the kids that doing your weekend chores is still really important. So now, if let's say the pawn now promotes on b1, rook to d8, we're going to just deliver checkmate. And it's really fascinating, this, because black has not got a single useful check in this position. He's essentially doomed in this position. He can't, if he tries to throw in a check over here, well, we just capture with our rook over there. There's no other useful checks at all. So I guess the only good move for black here should be to go to maybe e4, trying to centralize one of the queens and maybe block one of these rooks at some point. But it doesn't matter. After the rook comes to b7, the king moves to a3. We can deliver what looks like a checkmate, but obviously the queen can jump in the way, after which we win this way. So this rook comes to d8. It blocks this pawn from promoting. Really, really nice stuff. So that doesn't work. If I go back once again, if in this position, let's say this pawn promotes, so now black has got two queens. So two queens should beat two rooks. But here it doesn't matter, as we've still got this mating pattern. This rook comes over, we throw in another check, and if the queen jumps in the way, we have this lovely move check, and then we take this other queen. we have got a winning solution once again with the king and the rook. So as I say, a really gorgeous puzzle. I hope you're able to solve it from the start. As I say, if you chuck this on an engine at home, I think it's got a mate in 27, 28, so you might have to put it on a quite a big depth before it shows any mating ideas. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you found this particular video good, make sure to leave a like. Obviously, make sure to subscribe to the channel as well, as I'll post some more checkmates, puzzles, very interesting studies on this channel in the future. All right, take care. Bye-bye.